ओ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येम अक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यसेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ओम शांति 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 अग्ने नयन सुपधाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् योध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठां तेन मुक्तिं विधेम ओम शांति 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 ओम आब्रह्मन् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मवर्चसी जायतामाराष्ट्रे राजन्यः शूरैषव्योतिव्याधी महारथो जायताम् दोग्ध्रीधेनुः ओढानड्वान् आशुः सप्तिः पुरन्धिर्योषा जिष्णुरथेष्ठाः सभेयो युवास्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायताम् निकामे निकामेन पर्जन्यो वर्षतु फलवत्यो न ओषधयः पच्यन्ताम् योगक्षेमो नः कल्पेताम् ओम शांति 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 ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषतु माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मामा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति 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 हरिः ओम. So today we are just to begin with the sessions on learning, reciting, learning involving the recitation and understanding of the most important Upanishad of Upanishads is Svetasvataropanishad, where the Maharshi is trying to give us some clues and some ways and means by which we are always heading towards the Subham. Subham apnuyat. That Subham is Mangalakaram and Lakshmi Pradam and Janmarahitya Dhanam. We don't want to be born again. So every birth, everybody's should be worked up in such a manner that they need not come again into this world. Therefore, we have a beautiful scope where we are able to get hold of some kind of means so that we can try, we can practice. What? Huh? Hello? Yeah. We can practice and up to the extent that we are satisfied, because self-satisfaction is most important thing. That's exactly called technically as Atma Trupti. Are you satisfied with your own efforts, with your own behavior, with your own conduct? And what are you having the goal about? And those two things have got to be fixed up. See, great people are the students of Upanishads. If you take Arjuna, is a student of Krishna, which is said to be Upanishadsu, Saram, the essence of all Upanishads. while Vishnu Sahasranamam in Mahabharata is taken as the most important one, where Dharmaraja is a student, that we have to note. And in the Anugita or Uddhava Gita, in the Uddhava Gita, Uddhava is the great important student who has wonderful questions belonging to the sphere of philosophy or Vedanta. And in the Ashtavakra Gita, for example, we have got Janaka Maharaja, the student to Ashtavakra Maharshi. So when we consider these things, then we understand what an amount of knowledge and wisdom is being sought after by the learned and great practitioners like Dharmaraja, Arjuna, Janaka Maharaja, etc. So, like that, Upanishads stand in an important place at all times. Now, coming to the Svetasvataropanishad, we are in the 4th chapter, I believe in the 15th sloka, our mantra, where it is being talked about how we are able to cut down the incidence of injury, the incidence of death. So normal injuries will happen to body and we'll just try to get rid of them by a treatment. But the injury that happens is the death that occurs to the body. The entire system of our body stops. The heart, lungs, etc. stops, and you are declared that you are liable either to be buried or burnt. So when we are living, there is stomach. When we are burnt or buried, the stomach is gone. Therefore, the procedure of satisfying is different. Therefore, here in the 15th stanza, just revising, then Sayeva Kale Bhuvanasya Gopta Vishwadhipaha Sarvabhuteshu Gudaha Yasmin Yuktaha Brahmarshayo Devatascha Tamevam Gnatva Mrutyupasam Chinati. This is a very important indication to us that we may feel envied of gods, we may envy the Maharshis. Not necessary. Everybody is a unit, everybody is independent, everybody has got equal scope to improve oneself. The scope is not at all limited because the scope of life and prosperity of individuals, as astrologers will tell, lies in their horoscope, time. So at the time when you are born, how was the scope of all the planets and stars and all that? That will count upon our life's style and then behavior. So Brahmarshis and Devatas are always in yoga, in meditation, in understanding, in attachment. What? Yuktaha, the word you understand is yuktaha. Yukta is yoga, yoked, or harnessed or connected. And to whom are they connected? Not for the mundane pleasures and pressures. The mundane life has both things, sukha and dukkha. That is pleasure and pain. And even pleasurable pains are there, painful pleasures are there. Well, combinations are there in that. But we are able to sustain all of them so long we are able to be live. But once we leave the body, it is a responsibility that we don't want return. That's why it is said that we have to take shelter in Paramatma, who is Kale Gopta Bhuvanasya. Who is that Paramatma, Parabrahman, whatever you call, describe him, Allah, Rama, then Muhammad, whatever you want to prescribe, those leaders or gurus and mentors, they're all trying to protect and guide people upon the world. Bhuvana, there are Chaturdasha Bhuvanaha, Saptalokaha, and so many Akashas are there. So that's why they say, Akasham Gaganam Sunyam Manta. see, it's such a very, very wide thing that the actual beyond some points of in the air, in the Antariksha Loka, everything stops and everything becomes invisible. For example, you see law of gravitation. The gravitational force works up to some distance in the sky, I mean the up. Beyond that, you lose gravitation. You cannot remain same. And even upon the earth, we cannot, we are stable because of the speed of the earth revolving. And even the aircraft also, you are steady and constant because of the speed of this aircraft going at a high speed at that height, 37, 40 feet high. And because of that kind of speed and height, you feel as though you are sitting in a house only. You don't have any kind of normally jerks or anything like that. You feel comfortable. Why? Because of the Kala. Kala has got a speed. Kale. Kala has got the speed. Kala has got the width. And Kala, the time has not got any considerations or any partialities. It just keeps on doing its job to flow. So Kala is considered to be Nadi. So Kale means as the generations and generations keep moving. Pasyan Janmani Surya. So because Kala Chakra Pranetaram Surya Narayanam Bhaje, the Kala Chakra, the Kala is a wheel. And that Praneta, the person who makes that keep revolving, is Surya Bhagavan. And therefore, that fellow, the Brahmadeva, is Bhuvanasya Gopta, Kale, Kale, Kale. You remember our Vedadhyayana Kendra prayer is that Nikame, Nikame, Parjanyo Varshatu, Anavaga. Nikama, Parjanya, we should be getting rains whenever it is really necessary for us. For us means for the crops, for the vanaspatis and all that. So Parjanya Varshatu means Parjanya is the fellow because Parjanyat annam bhavati, annam, and from annam pranaha, annam pradaha, etc. So Saeva Kale Bhuvanasya Gopta. And moreover, not simply is a Gopta sitting on the throne, but to sit on the throne or authority is not at all easy. Nobody can sit for coziness or comfort on the chair. Because Bhartrihari says, to be a king or to be a responsible fellow is something like Asidhara Vratam. Asi means sword, Dhara is, see, sharp-edged sword will be hung with a thin thread just over the head of the fellow who sits on the throne. Afraid, because at time the string breaks and falls on the head, we don't know. But so long the string and sword are hanging just above our head, we are comfortable. And therefore, it is said that an administrator has to always keep in mind there is always difficulty and problem and calamity would come in case he were to swerve from normal dharmic behavior and ruling. Therefore, Saeva Kale Bhuvanasya Gopta and Vishwa Adhipaha, he is the Adhipa. There are protectors and protectors and protectors all over the ground. But control them, all of them, there is only one person whom in our own term call him a chairman. When you call chairman, you understand everybody, every member who has attended the meeting or that, he is sitting only on chair. But all people members sitting on the chair are not called chairman, but only a particular person who sits on an important ruling time, then he is called a chairman. Chairman Bandru Antare. Are you not all chairmen? Yes, you are all chairmen. You are sitting upon the chair, a man sitting on the chair. So, but we have only a participation role, but not a ruling role. Therefore, Vishwadhipaha means he has that ruling power to see that being a Gopta, he has got the authority to rule over the entire, that means what is happening, where, when, how, and how it could be rectified. That's exactly is the work of the Adhyaksha. In Vishnu Sahasranamam, Dharmadhyakshaha, the Adhyaksha Shabda has been employed for Vishnu because he is the supervisor par excellence at each point or each feature of our life. Dharma Adhyaksha, Yajna Adhyaksha, Yajnapati, Yajna. So whatever activity that is being taken up by people born differently in different nations and different places, different races and all that, to all that, a supervisor is for a Brahma. So he's called Viswadhipaha. But he is not extraneous to anybody. Beautiful talk. He's not extraneous. He's there inner. Antaratma, we call it. We have got Atma me Sudhyantam. We have learned it. So Atma is the body and the governing principle inside our body. See that all parts inside of our body also are being normally functioning. Therefore, we have not got any electrical installations inside our body. Outside, if you want power or bring power into our house, we have got to have electrical installations. But for us, no electrical installations or self-automatic situation. There is a lot of automation in our body. But when the automation in our body becomes dull at any stage, then we require external agency, but very expensive and very much risky also. If pacemaker is put or stents are put or anything like that, or so transplantation is done, you can imagine how problematic it is in course of time. And sarvabhuteshu gudha. So that Paramatma is not away, he is there secretly stationed in every bhuta. Bhuta is existent, preta is departed. So people are concerned with those people who attend, who live life. So you see, in classroom, a teacher gives attendance to those people who are present physically in the classroom. And others whose name is there but who don't attend, no attendance to them at all. So that's what your normal parlance we are experiencing. Therefore, but your name is there in the attendance register. So Paramatma is there enlisted in the register. So Sarvabhuteshu Gudhaha. And that is the secret, and the Maharshis and the gods, they are all aware that there is one higher principle to whom they can appeal always. And that principle is important. We can go to our Purandaradasa, who has got a song saying, Lo Narayana, ni nanallavo daridranu, nine daridranu. Nange kashta bandre Narayana anta kelkontini. But ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಜೋಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪುರಂದರದಾಸರು. ಸಿ ನನಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬಂದ್ರೆ if I were to put in trouble, I look for help from you. But supposing you are getting the problem, to whom you can turn to? Nobody. That's why he's called also Daridra Narayana ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ he has no support, but he has got to only think problem. And again, Bharat says at one place, it says, Vishnuriyena dashavatara jahane chipto mahasankate anta. Sankatadalli Krishna yavaglu idane. Paramatma yavaglu sankatane. Don't think that God is great. God is happy. Never God is happy. He has got 100,000 things in his head to look after. Something like Macbeth telling, head is full of scorpions in Macbeth. So, but when he is there within us, it is his responsibility to conduct, characterize the body or the person in whom he is there. Therefore, Sarvabhuteshu Gudaha and Brahmarshayaha Devatasya. Brahmarshi is the top ranking among rishis. The other day I told that there are rishis, then Rajarshis or Devarshis and so on, and ultimately it's called Brahmarshi. So, Brahmarshi Agbeku andre, the example is story of Vishwamitra and Vasishtha. The born Brahmarshis are there, but made up Brahmarshi is Vishwamitra. Anyway, whoever it is, Devataha Tamevam Gnatva. It is exactly, you have to underline the word Gnatva, because Gnana is the only one tool through which you are able to unravel secrets. Unfurl the black. Unless you unfurl the flag on Independence Day, the flowers kept inside the flag, when unfurled, they fall on the ground, celebrating the Independence Day or Republic Day. That's what we used to see whenever we are school flag hoisting ceremony. So somebody used to keep some flowers and then roll down the flag so tight that it will, when once the rope is pulled, the flag gets unfurled and then flowers fall down. But these days, people have lost practice probably. Anyway, so that was what we were able to see. And every student, we used to wear that India map, that as a small one, stuck it to the shirt with pin. And like that, it was going on. Because the Rashtra Bhakti is not at all one person's. It is everybody's. Therefore, our Atharveda tells us, Rashtra Devo Bhava. You be obedient devotee to Rashtra Devata. So, Veda Mata. So, Gnatva. Why do we attend the independence celebration or something like that, or unfurl the flag? It is only a part of knowledge. How many years we have been spending being independent? 75 years, for example. So, like that, Tadveva Gnatva. What would happen? Mrityu pasham chinati. Chinati means you cannot again glue together. Once break admele, a break agida point and matte glue madu tumba kashta. Even if you try to glue with some glues or join them, there is a danger of breaking once again back. Therefore, you should be getting it cut out so much that it is not possible to join again. So that exactly what for we should work according to Svetasvataropanishad, that we have to chedana is important. So even this chedana is a wonderful word which is used by Shankaracharya in number of stotras also. In Dakshinamurti Stotram, for example, he says, Jana Nabarana Cheda Daksham Dakshinamurti Mire. ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಛೇದನದ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ದಕ್ಷನಾಗಿರುವ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ದಕ್ಷಿಣಾಮೂರ್ತಿ. ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದಕ್ಷಿಣಾಮೂರ್ತಿ? ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಜ್ಞಾನಮೂರ್ತಿ. ಸೊ he is Maya Kalpita. If you just read the hit slokas of Dakshinamurti, you get fund of knowledge and awakening in that which Shankaracharya has given us. So Gnatva ಅನ್ನೋದು important. ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಮೃತ್ಯು ಪಾಶ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ, and again examples are given because Upanishad is a very secret, very difficult, at the same time very much pregnant with thought process. The deeper you dive, you will get more and more meanings and wisdom and then clues. That's why Upanishad, I think, is not armchair reading. Veda is not armchair reading, just like mathematics or physics. If somebody, if student is asked, in martha idiyo andre, mathematics otta idini. Mathematics are ottare. No. So like that, here also we are getting a wonderful example in the next sloka, the 16th one. Though I have done it, but I am getting more ideas. So I may just spend some time on each month's formula or mantra, and then to concretize our quest, understanding for this Parabrahma, who is a secret one. Look here. Ghrutat param mandam iva ati sukshmam gnatva shivam sarva bhuteshu gudham visvasyekam pariveshtitaram gnatva devam uchyate sarva pasaihi. So, mrityu is the word earlier, here pasha. Mrityu is a pasha. And Varuna is a pasha. Yama has got the pasha. So Yama pasha, Varuna pasha, Mrityu pasha, and such pashas all put together will be Sarva pasha. We cannot know how many pashas are there. Pashas are the attachments or the ropes or strings which will bind you totally. So that kind of thing have got to be removed. And mandam Ghrutat param nasti. So Ghrutam, or the ghee, is the wonderful ultimate one which will please all gods in common. And so Shivam, the Shanti is there, residing in each and every person. Say, for example, in Mahabharata, What is the main sentiment in Mahabharata is a big question. Then you understand that Mahabharatadalli Shantarasa, because all characters are basically peaceful. But the proportion, the ratio of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya only is variant. And because of the influence of these Shat, they are all subjected to. So those who promoted more that giving Dharma, Artha, Kama, Mokshas are four are there in that. So even Dharmaraja is also a great Dharmika. Likewise, even Duryodhana is also a great Dharmika. Both know Dharma and Adharma. But the choices fell differently between them. Therefore, though they are brothers, there was desire. Of course, that is because they are all Kshatriyas, Rajakumaras, they have got desire for land and authority. But scope is more for Duryodhana, and therefore he adopted Adharma Marga. Whereas Dharma Marga, Dharmaraja took it up. So Dharma suffers and wins ultimately. Dharmameva jayate na adharmam. Satyameva jayate na anrutam. Like that, here, Shanti is important, and that Shanti you will get only through knowledge. Viswasya ekam pariveshtitaram. Pariveshtana means all-round pervasiveness. And that Shiva is all-round there. When once you adopt, you go to that Shivam. Shivam has got two meanings. So one, that is, if you love peace, you are happy. If you love quarrel, you have to work hard. That ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ನಮಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟನೇ. ಕೈ ಕೆಸರಾದರೆ ಬಾಯಿ ಮೊಸರು ಅಂತ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೆಸರಾಗಬೇಕು ಕೈ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಅವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬಾಯಿ ಮೊಸರು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಶಾಂತಿ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕ್, and that work is being told that you have to అక్కడే ఉంటుంది తెలియదమ్మా, కింద పక్కన ఉంటుంది, అక్కడే ఉంటుంది రూమ్లోనే. So we see Pariveshtita, when Paramatma is pervasive, which means that he is like blood in our body. I think so, because wherever you pierce deeper, then blood comes out. But what is flowing in our body? Blood is flowing. And of course, there is source also for all that. So, ekam visvasya pariveshtitaram. The blood in all people is same. The blood color is not changed in anybody. Somebody will not have green blood or blue blood or yellow blood. No, the blood means red. And it has also so much of analysis inside, blood contents. So hermatology tells you books and books. The other day I visited one library of a doctor who is a dermatologist, who is a blood specialist in America. I was able to see so many books written on the blood. I was wondering, so much knowledge is there just upon the blood. So here doctors work on the blood, so much knowledge, gnanam, just trying to know, treat the blood problems. So like that, Paramatma is not only blood, is also heart, is also lung, is also other things. Therefore, sarvapasaihi anavaga, everything connected in the world or available in the world, all that is being guarded, is being owned by Paramatma. Our body is not ours own. See, in Vedantic terms, we don't call it a sarira always. We call it as a deha. Dehesmin devataha santi antare. Ee dehadalli devatagaliddare. Dakara, you understand? So da is the word. That's why here pariveshtitaram gnatva muchyate sarvapasaihi. Gnana another important. Intelligence has no ceiling. The knowledge has not got any ceiling. We will always be getting installments of knowledge as per the requirement and circumstance and age and all that. And the installments are not at all final anytime, because keep on putting down something like the premium that we pay to the LIC fellows or anybody. So this is how they say. So we are able to get rid of the pasha. Unless you untie yourself, you cannot get tied to something different, higher. So not bichod ideyalla, gantana bichode maha kashta. ಏನನ್ರಿ ಗಂಟು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಈ ಗಂಟು ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬಾ significant and symbolic one. So, for example, a man and woman coming into wedlock, it's called locking. A locking another gantu. Man is connected to the woman who is his wife, and the woman is connected to man, gantu. ಈ ಗಂಟು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವಾಗುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸಲ ಅದರಿಂದ ದುಃಖಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. In English there is a proverb: man loses freedom and woman happiness by virtue of marriage ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಮದುವೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇವನಿಗೆ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಶಾಂತಿ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟೆಂಪರರಿ, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಬೋತ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ freedom and happiness depending upon the kind of life that wife and husband spend. But that's why we have got the maximum ideal couple like Parvati and Parameswara. They are the ideal. Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameswarau. And now in the next 17th sloka mantra, we have got some more ideas how, okay, when you get rid of your janma, your body, and you are able to cut down all injuries to our body, etc., then ultimately what is the goal? Yelli hogbeku, namge en beku, why for we are working is always the quest. Our friend and senior friend by name Janardhan Pujari was chief engineer. He has written a beautiful book called Quest for God. And I have distributed that book in our Kendra to many people. And I wrote forward for that. And that's wonderful, because he had kept up a diary for 90 years regarding his experience in a number of fields. And he came out with one book, Janardhan Badami. And if you are able to get it in digital copy, you can get it and see how beautifully he was able to talk about our body, mind, and spirit. And therefore, so ultimately, the quest for God is only to get ourselves merged in God. So to get merging is what is called that Amrutaste Bhavanti. I repeat the mantra 17 in the second chapter also of that Upanishad. Esha Devo Vishwakarma Mahatma Sada Jananam Hrudaye Sannivishtaha Hruda Manisha Manasa Vikluptaha Ya Etad Viduhu Amrutaste Bhavanti. So hitherto, our Svetasvataropanishad has used Rishi has employed the word Gnanam. Now, in this, he uses the word Viduhu. That's very important. You observe that. Because Samskrita language is a very precise, pregnant, and significant, and suggestive, and wisdom-ridden language. See, we talk Samskrita because the grammar of the Sanskrit is so much fixed that we have nothing to add to the grammar in Sanskrit. Panini, Vararuchi, Patanjali, and Katyayani, they're all great grammarian. They're all Maharshis, Shabda. So they're all called as the Shabda Shastra Pravartaraha. And Shabda Shastra is Vyakarana. And Shabda is Paramatma. So Paramatma has been understood through grammar. You understand any Paramatma only through analytical power. You have to analyze. Something like a botanist trying to know all about the rose flower by putting one or the other and putting something in the laboratory and trying to study what is rose. Like that, we have to ask in philosophy, in Vedanta Shastra, we also try to know what is this God? Where is this God? How is this God? Where does he exist? How does he exist? Look at these questions. And is he having any connection with us? What kind of connection he has with us? How we can know the connection with him? And what is the ultimate goal? Having understood the Paramatma, why should we understand? So even these are all some of the interesting, intelligent questions which are being put and then answered in our Vedanta Shastra. Therefore, we have got innumerable Upanishads. If you put a question, how many Upanishads are there? Number of Upanishads are there. People say there is one great Upanishad like Ishavasya, or 10 Upanishads, then 108 Upanishads, then 1,000 Upanishads. Who knows? And we will be coming across so many Upanishads, yet in manuscript form, yet not published. We only know the names of the Upanishads which are published, or which are put to printing press and brought copies to us and put in the market for sale, and people don't go to buy Upanishad texts because they are otherwise busy. The other is money and comfort. These things have made people to forget the spirit behind them. So, because people right from morning to evening, people are busy with office work, earning money, meeting people. But where is the time for them to sit, close the eye in meditation or yoga or whatever it is? 5 minutes if you close your eyes, control your breath, and utter Omkara in per day, 24 into 60 into 60 minutes you have got. So out of so many minutes that we have every day, we have been granted, you have no time to sit for 1 minute, 60 seconds. But once you have to do it, then you see what you are inside you. That's what it is said that Viduhu is the word. Amrutaste bhavanti. When once you know that kind of gnanam, what kind of vignana you wanted? Vishwakarma Paramatma. The God is the universal architect. There are architects, but the chief of all architects is called Shiva. Therefore, Krishna, that Bana Mahakavi, you should be remembering, has given us for any construction of a building or anything like that, he has given one Dhyana Sloka of Lord Shiva. And that sloka you find in the Bana's work, probably Harshacharita or so, says, Tunga Siraschumbi Chandra Chamara Charave Trailokya Nagararambha Mulastambhaya Shambhave Namaha Namastunga Siraschumbi Chandra Chamara Charave Trailokya Nagararambha Mulastambhaya Shambhave. Another Shiva is the Mulastambha, the central pillar for bearing the weight of the building. And so you are in the Vishwesvaraya who introduced Madhara probably before, the pillar construction. Pillar construction, you save a lot of accommodation inside. And so wall construction, vandu pillar. That's why in Mysore, you see most of them are pillar built. So that is why Vishwakarma, that is karma, the architectural grandeur. But 1, 2, 3 buildings, people do it, and then they pass off. But worldly structures, who is the structural engineer of engineers, is Paramatma. We may say Vishwesvaraya is structural engineer. He knows something about the age of everything. And in order to decide how many more months or years the High Court building or so in Bengaluru in front of Vidhan Soda would they survive. Some experts will come from outside the country and they say it can survive for 150 years more. Therefore, they made some painting, repairing and all that. Now the building looks very much imposing. Probably High Court building or so in Vidhan Soda, in Kabban Park. So I was told like that. So every building has got that kind of aging. But long-lasting building structures are possible only with Paramatma. However many people come and go. But the structure remains. How many people have seen Vidhan Soda or going to see Vidhan Soda or such unique buildings? And one such is Anantapur Government Arts College building. When we were students there in the Arts College, had celebrated 100 years more, where Dr. Radhakrishnan was also a lecturer, speaker, and all that. So such an ancient building, but it is simply a monumental way. So such kind of monuments are being built, and chief of all monuments in the world, who provides intelligence to the architects, is called Vishwakarma. And he's a Mahatma. His Atma is not at all narrow. That Atma is able to, that person, he wants everybody's prosperity equally. There is no kind of, so something like sun and moon, who spend there, who give their light either in a hut or a palace, either in a forest or on a mountain. So samak nipato, samakara nipato, himakaraha. Shankaracharya compares the grace of Mahadevi, Lalita Parameswari. Today is Sukrivaram, Friday, we remember her, that just like moon and sun, who shed their light equally in all places. So he's called as Mahatma. So Amma is Mahatma. Appa, our father, also is Mahatma. They take care of the children equally well. They're all bothered that they have to give equal education and equal distribution of land and all properties, etc. So Mahatma. And where is this father and mother or this Paramatma? Sada jananam hridaye sannivishtaha. The son might forget to call father and mother, but father and mother constantly remember the children. If the child telephones or sends letter or does something, oh, why are you taking that? How are you keeping all the time? So if the son fails to call you, you will call him and try to find out how this like. So that kind of flow goes from the father, who is Mahatma, who is Vishwakarma or father or mother. So Sannivishtaha means Vishtaha is placement. See, Vishta is Swargaloka. Nivishtaha means stationed. Sannivishtaha and close by. So in Sanskrit, you observe there is a lot of comfortable folding of the vicinity, proximity in communication. That's why Krishna, in Bhajagonda Sloka also, Bhajagonda Stotra, Shankaracharya says, Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Kuru Karane. So Samprapta, every time, the time is waiting to hit you. And the time is coming closer also. Sannihite, Samprapte Sannihite. What is that? Kala. Kala is a flow, is a river, Kala Nadi. ಈ ಕಾಲ ಪ್ರವಾಹ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನಾವು ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ನೀರು ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ the river won't wait for you to give you the same water. It will give a different water. That's a flow, ಕಾಲ ನದಿ. ಆ ಕಾಲ ನದಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ನಾವೇ ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Therefore, here ಹೃದಯೇ ಸನ್ನಿವಿಷ್ಟಃ, it is very close by, something like the mirror at the driver's seat. So though the objects are not that close as you see, or something like that, it written in the mirror. Simply mirror is not there in your car driving seat. You have got a instruction also being printed, embossed on the mirror, that you have to mark always. The objects are not so much. The objects are reflected there. You have to be cautious while driving your car or your vehicle. So that's why Sannivishtaha Hridaye and Hruda Manisha Manasa Abhikluptaha. So these are the three items through which you are able to recognize the knowledge. One is through your emotions or Hruda, and through your wisdom, and through your mind. So your emotions and your knowledge of with fully filled with knowledge, and also the mind. These are the three things which will allow you to grasp the understanding of the objects. Because subtle objects are there, subtle objects are there, easy there. So there are so many layers. Emboxment is there. For example, in your computer, there is inbox. So in inbox, everything comes and falls into that. ಆ ಇನ್ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮೈಲ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೆಮನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಭಿಕ್ಲುಪ್ತ ಅಂತ, ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ನೋ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ಬಾಕ್ಸ್, because Paramatma is there seated in box, and etad viduhu amrutaste bhavanti. Anybody who knows this kind of thing, he will become definitely amruta. So this particular sloka, mantra, has been variedly explained by so many commentators, and so there is interpretation of the passages differently done by so many people, and so it talks about the intuition of the Atman and to his psychological conditioning. So it is not the intuition that is being talked about in this place, how you psychologically condition your body, condition your mind, condition your wisdom and intelligence. Because that's exactly otherwise called as Krishna in Bhagavad Gita gives always the theme. What does he give? Indriyas are there, mind is there, and buddhi is there. These three things are para-buddhi, of course, Paramatma. Before the para-buddhi, the indriyas have got their own arthas. Indriyartheshu pravartante. What is the nature of the indriyas? They only look for their goals. The eye wants to see beautiful things. The ear wants to hear beautiful sounds. And your body wants to go to beautiful places. And the body limbs help you, stirai angai suttuvagumsaha. So as long as the limbs of your body are firm, you have desire to go to any place, wherever you want to go. That's exactly what you call youth. If you ask senior citizens in the house, nim tande taayi yaru doddavaru idre, appa nanu alli hogta idini bartiya, ayyo kane nanu barodಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಾ, ನಾನು ಟೂರ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, occasion. No, you don't go. Even if you go to a shop, then in the shop you will be only an observer, but not a participant buying X, Y, Z. Adrinda, here you have to, but according as the age grows, you have to have a psychological conditioning of your own interests. And you should also know the limitations of your physical conditions, mental equipment, and spiritual possibilities. ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ, ಸಿನಿಮಾಗೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿನಿಮಾಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ what is the use of spending 3 hours before a film which will be of more interest for the youthful people? You are not, as a senior person, as a matured, senior means matured. For those people who are matured, even as born as a babies and all that, the maturity is something which has not got aging at all. Anytime maturity can always glow. So like that, glowworms are there. So like that, the glow is there. Here he says that in this particular 16th, 17th mantra, you notice that you have to consider the terms Hridaya, Manisha, and Manas. In Gita, the Indriyas have got Indriyarthas, and Manas is sandwiched between Buddhi and Manas. If Manas were to turn to the beauty of the mind, the experience is different. If the mind were to promote the Indriyarthas, that Indriyas dictate your mind, the experience is different. But if your Buddhi is trying to drag the mind into its fold, then the para-buddhi will come and put its light, focus light upon you, and then you will be spiritualistic. Therefore, people say that he is a spiritualistic man, he is a yogi, he is a sannyasi, he is this, that, and all that. So he is a parivrajaka, paramacharya, paramaparivrajaka, etc. The titles come to you. So sannyasa is the basic principle. Therefore, even among Upanishads, we have also some Upanishadic knowledge concerned with the sannyasis. Sannyasi Upanishadಗಳಿದೆ, ಮುಂಡಕ ಉಪನಿಷತ್, ಮಾಂಡುಕ್ಯ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಮುಂಡಕ, ಮಾಂಡುಕ್ಯ, ಮುದ್ಗಲ, ಕೆಲವು ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತುಗಳಿದೆ. ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಸನ್ಯಾಸ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸನ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮೈಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಕಾಷಾಯ ವಸ್ತ್ರಧಾರಣದಿಂದಾನೇ ನೀವು ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಗಳಂತ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪಾದಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಕಷಾಯ ತೆಗಿತಾ ಬಂದರೆ ಜನರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂಥರಹ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ, ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂಥ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಗಳನ್ನು, ಅಂಥ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಗಳನ್ನು ಗೌರವ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪೀಠಾಧಿಪತಿಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ನೇಚರೇ ತುಂಬ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರ ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಬಲೇ ಬೇರೆ. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸಾಧನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದು 1 or 2 hours ಜನರಿಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಅವರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. 5 to 6 o'clock darshan. For example, Satya Sai Baba used to meet all people at 7 o'clock in the morning in Vrindavan, I mean Whitefield or Tavarti or some hour. Beyond that time, only to some people is accessible, not for public. Even Paramatma also, temple gates are opened only for a fixed hours. During hours ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ. Something like that, even for doctors, highly seasoned doctors. Like that, here there is that kind of psychological conditioning required. And that is what exactly called as Vignana, Viduhu. So that's why Tasmat, Viduhu, who are able to note that particular thing, they're all called as Viduhu. So if you are able to conditioning, what is psychology? You only the psycho. So nim psycho illa nim kailide. That's why Atma Sanyamana Yoga anta special agi chapter ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. Because Bhagavad Gita is also a Upanishad, not simply one Upanishad. It is the essence of all Upanishads. Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Yoga Shastre ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಯೋಗಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ, ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತುಗಳ ಸಾರ ಅಂಡ್ ಗೀತಾ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅರ್ಜುನ ಸಂವಾದೇ. There are 2 people, great scholars, great yogins, come in dialogue. At what hour? At a work hour. The next, see, actually it is said Bhagavad Gita is start in 4 minutes. There is no time in war. Everybody is waiting like horses. So they want to pounce and jump and blow the cans and fight with their weapons. At that critical, urgent hour, Krishna cannot teach many things. So the quick grasping by Arjuna, quick delivery of knowledge by Guru. So Acharyaru yavaglu tumba kala togolodilla, they just deliver the point. So Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Sishyaha Chinna Samsayaha. That is Bhagavad Gita. So here we have noted that, and we can go on explaining only one sloka for long hours. No, I have to go to the next one. The 18th one, you observe. Yada tapastaddanna divana ratrihi na sanna chasi na cha asa siva eva kevalaha tadaksharam tat saviturvarenyam prajnacha tasmat prasruta purani. Again I read for your convenience, please follow. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯದಾ ತಮಸ್ತನ್ನ ದಿವಾನ ರಾತ್ರಿಹಿ ನ ಸತು ಚ ಅಸತು ಶಿವ ಏವ ಕೇವಲು ತದಕ್ಷರಂ ತತ್ಸವಿತುರ್ವರೆಣ್ಯಂ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾ ಚ ತಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಪ್ರಸೃತಾ ಪುರಾಣಿ. This is another important one where you talk about the tamaha, the ignorance. So when the ignorance is dispelled, we don't have day or night or being or non-being, and everything is auspicious. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಂಧಕಾರ, ಅಜ್ಞಾನ, ಕೋಪ, ತಾಪಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಮ, ಕ್ರೋಧ, ಲೋಭ, ಮೋಹ, ಮದ, ಮಾತ್ಸರ್ಯ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಿಯಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಈ ಅಂಧಕಾರವನ್ನು ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, there is no day, there was no night, not anything, but everything looks light and light and light, and that is what we call kevalaha. Surya iddaga everywhere there is light, unless you create darkness. ನೀವು ಕಿಟಕಿ ಬಾಗಿಲು ಮುಚ್ಚಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್. ಪೂರ್ವಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ, ಈಗ ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಡೋರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್. ಬಟ್ ಹಳೆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಕಿಟಕಿಗೆ ವುಡನಿಂದಲೇ ಡೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಬೀದಿ ಡೋರ್, ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಡೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವುಡ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕಿಟಕಿ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ್ರೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವುಡನ್ ಡೋರ್ಸ್, ಬೆಳಕು ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಧಕಾರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವೆನ್ ವೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಯಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಯಂಗ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಅವರ್ ಹೌಸಸ್ ವರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಈಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸೊಫಿಸ್ಟಿಕೇಶನ್, ಕಲ್ಚರ್, ಸಿವಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಈವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದಿ ಡೋರ್ for sake of not allowing mosquitoes or thieves hand inside, glass doors are there. Therefore here, even though because of glass door, even you cannot shut even if you shut, the light will be there inside your room. So like that, andhakara ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೇವಲ ಅಂಧಕಾರ ಹೊರಟೋದು ಮೇಲೆ only ಕೇವಲಃ ಶಿವಃ ಏವ. So ಶಿವಃ ಕೇವಲಃ. And what is that Shiva? Quickly explain. ಅಕ್ಷರಂ ಶಿವಃ. ಶಾಂತಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಟೆಂಪರರಿ ಆಗಿ ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ದುಃಖ ಪಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದುಃಖ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಶಾಂತಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್. ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಬಿ ಆಂಗ್ರಿ ಫಾರ್ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 10 minutes. ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್, ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಪ್ಪ? 5 ನಿಮಿಷ, 10 ನಿಮಿಷ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೋಪ ಹೊರಟೋಗದೆ. ಕಾಫಿ ತಂದು ಕೊಟ್ರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಆ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಆ ಸಬ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ರು ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಏನ್ರಿ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹುಡುಗರೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದು ಅಂತ. ಆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಂದು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ನ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕೋಪದಿಂದ ತುಂಬ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರಂತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ ಪಾಪ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರು, ಕೇಳಿ ಅವರಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ರು. ಕೋಪ ಇವ್ರು ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ. ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರು ಕೋಪದಿಂದ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಪ್ಯೂನ್ ಜವಾನ ಕಾಫಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದಂತೆ. ಆ ಕಾಫಿ ನೋಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಕೋಪ ಹೊರಟೋಯ್ತು. ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜು ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲೈನು ಅಂತ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅವನು ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿದು ಹೊರಟೋದ್ರಂತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ಐ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅಸ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಬೈ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಕ್ಷರಂ. ಕ್ಷರ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಕ್ಷರಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಶಾಂತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಕ್ಷರವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಾಕಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷರವೇ. ಕೋಪ ಕ್ಷರ, ಕಾಮ ಕ್ಷರ. ಕಾಮ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. 1 minute ఎంజాయ్మెంట్ విల్ గివ్ యూ సో మచ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ సమ్టైమ్స్. 1 నిమిష భోగము 6 నెలలు జాడ్యము అంటారు. 1/2 నిమిష భోగ్యం. ಭೋಗಂ అనేది ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಭೋಗೇ ರೋಗ ಭಯಂ. ಪರಶುರಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೋಗದ ಭಯ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಭೋಗೇ ರೋಗ ಭಯಂ. ಸಿ ವಿತ್ತೇ ನೃಪಾಲಾದ್ ಭಯಂ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ಲೆಂಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಮನಿ. ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್. ವಿತ್ತೇ ನೃಪಾಲಾದ್ ಭಯಂ. ಸಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸಮ್. Handsomeness or beauty in our body is chara. Because Rupe jara bhayam. If you are handsome or beautiful, the old age comes, your skin becomes loose. You lose your teeth, you lose your sight abilities, etc. So all things will chara. But what is chara? Aksharam, Shivam Aksharam. And what is that Akshara, or what is that Shanti? Saviturvarenyam. Beautiful. So this is one of the another interpretation for the word. Saviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo na prachodayat. The famous Gayatri mantra from Rigveda, which occurs in 3rd mandala, 62nd sukta and 10th mantra. ಆ ಮಂತ್ರ ಮುದುಕನಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಜೀವಿತಾಂತವಾಗಿ ಆ ತಂದೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಉಪದೇಶವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಜಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮೋಪದೇಶ. ಅಂಡ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ತಂದೆಯವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಮಂತ್ರ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮೋಪದೇಶ ಆಹ್ವಾನ ಪತ್ರಿಕಾ ಅಂತ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನರ ಕರೆದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಊಟ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಇವನಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಮಂತ್ರ ಮಾತ್ರ ಉಪದೇಶ ಮಾಡಿ ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ತಂದೆ ಹುಡುಗನನ್ನ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಅದೇನು ಮಂತ್ರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ 10,028 mantras, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ವೆರಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ವರಮಂತ್ರ, ದೇವಮಂತ್ರ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರ. ಅದು ಯಾಕೆ ವರೇಣ್ಯಂ ಭರ್ಗ ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಬಾಲಕಾಂಡ ವಿಶ್ವಾಮಿತ್ರ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ಆ ರಾಮ ಮಲಗಿದುವಾಗ ಬಂದು ಕೌಸಲ್ಯ ಸುಪ್ರಜಾ ರಾಮ ಪೂರ್ವ ಸಂಧ್ಯಾ ಪ್ರವರ್ತತೆ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠ ನರಶಾರ್ದೂಲ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಂ ದೈವಮಾನ್ಹಿಕಂ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ ರಾಮ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ ಇಬ್ರು ಆ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಜಪ್ತ್ವಾ ವರಮಂತ್ರಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಈ ವರಮಂತ್ರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು? ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರ. ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ರ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ, ವೈಶ್ಯ, ಕ್ಷತ್ರಿಯ, ಶೂದ್ರ, ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ everybody wants intelligence to flow into them, wisdom to dance in them, and see that their life must be quite smooth and comfortable and happier. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ವರೇಣ್ಯಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾನಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ವರೇಣ್ಯಂ ಭರ್ಗಃ, that is exactly what we have got to catch up. And I concluded, sir, Varenyam, that, and what is that Varenyam Bhargah or Shivam Shantam Bhargah? Andre, that exactly is called as Pragna. So Pragna Jatasmat Prasruta. Prasruta means flowing. That Pragna will flow, start flowing. And what kind of Pragna it is? Purani Pragna, ancient one. And the Rigveda is the first book to be arranged in your bookshelf. If you want to arrange all your books from historical point of view, history ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಋಗ್ವೇದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮುಲ್ಲರ್. He says, if you want to arrange your books in your library on the historical basis, ಋಗ್ವೇದ occupies the first place ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಪುರಾಣಿ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾ ಈಸ್ ವರೇಣ್ಯಂ, ಸವಿತು ವರೇಣ್ಯಂ, ಅಕ್ಷರಂ ಶಿವಂ ಕೇವಲಃ is that. So that you have to japa, and that yeah, and in other words, 18th sloka is a commentary for the Bhagavad, for the Rigveda Paramamantram, because Nagayatriya Paramantram Namatu Paradevatam. There is no higher mantra to talk about other than mother, other than Gayatri. Ammaginna bhinnavagirva devata yaru illa. All gods are there in mother. That's why one should not send their mother and father to Vruddhasrama and themselves enjoy all the salary for themselves. No. So mother is supreme. Matrudevo bhava. Adukosara Sri Mata anta heltare. Mother has to. In fact, I should tell that one professor of philosophy is writing book on mother, Ishwaramma and mother, divine mother, and it's going to be released. It's going to be a pictorial book, mother. And so Dr. Kamala Arora is writing book, such a wonderful thing. So mother importance, that's Purani Prajna. I think I have taken more time for this limited session. So we continue next. So yeah, you understand that we are trying to understand how much influence that Svetasvataropanishad could give us for our practical knowledge and upliftment and smooth and easy, cozy, comfortable, happier living, which we aspire and for which we are born in this world, whatever be the span of life that Paramatma has granted to us. Om Tat Satu. Chapandi. Om Sahana Vavatu. Anybody like?
Om Sahana Vavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Sri Vasudevarpanamastu. Sri Veda Purusha Ashirvadostu. Om Tat Sat.